situation was ridiculous. He was used to working hard, and hard work resulted in a reward of some kind. Yet no matter how much he pushed, she wouldn't budge an inch on them sharing more information with each other. "So you're just going to leave?" He straightened. She turned to face him and tipped back her head. "I thought we understood each other, Axel." He'd given her his real name, and was glad he did. The sound of her painting those 4 letters during each orgasm was branded into his brain. "Do we? I understand that you're about to leave without giving me any information about yourself, though we both had a great time on this trip." And that's all it was, a great time. "Today I go back to reality." She dropped her gaze and eased past him. He caught her arm above the elbow and forced her to gaze higher. There was something in her voice. Regret. Disappointment. She didn't want to go back to the life she left, wherever that was. "Stay another day with me." "I can't." She shook her head slowly, regretfully. "I can't give you anything more. If we're meant to be, we'll meet again." The tightness in his chest increased. She was really going to leave, and he'd have nothing but memories and a fake name. "You can give me something else." "One more time," Axel said. His need for her overwhelmed him, and that need was obvious in the heated sound of his voice. He may not know much about her, but he knew that her need matched his, and if he touched her just right, her body would go up in flames like it did every time since they first made love. Axel bent his head and tasted her lips. They were wide and full and downright delicious. "One more time," he whispered against her mouth. Her right hand caressed his chest, gliding over the tight nipples on his pecs before smoothing over the hair-roughened skin of his abs. His body hardened, and she paused at his left hip, her gaze focused on his rigid flesh. "One more time," she said shakily. Then she licked her lips, and that did it. Axel crushed her mouth beneath his and lifted her from the carpet. Her soft moans filled his ears as he carried her to the bed. He placed her across the mattress and swiftly dragged her panties past her ankles and tossed them to the floor. He dropped several kisses at the apex of her thighs, inhaling her feminine scent and savoring his last taste of heaven. He hurriedly put on a condom, and with desperation born from gut-rending hunger, he sliced his length into her and began to thrust in earnest. His hips drove hard between her thighs. Bending his head, he showered her throat and face with kisses. How was he supposed to forget her after this? How the hell could he go back to the emptiness his life used to be? Her fingernails clawed his back and ass, and he flinched against the pain that simultaneously brought pleasure. With a rough groan, he continued to drive into her. Their shallow breaths beat against each other, eyes wide open and gazes bound together as if by a rope of yearning and a plea for more. As she came, her eyes shuttered closed and her head fell back. Her lips parted on a sound that sent shivers down his spine as she cried out his name one last time, her voice bouncing back and forth against the walls. The boarding announcement had come several minutes ago. Soon they'd call her zone, and she'd be on her way back to Atlanta, back to an existence that seemed like a death sentence after her time with him. "Find me, and maybe there'll be another chance for us." That's what she'd told him, knowing good and well she'd given him a fake name and zero information. He'd never be able to find her. Axel, is that his real name? Naphressa wondered. Didn't matter. She'd never forget him or the way he made her feel. She hadn't been whole in so long, but this short trip and the time she spent with him had changed her.